are back again. This is BigLoudMouth.
Can we start with that? Can we filter?
I didn't want to be sitting next to us. I just realized.
Let's start to filter.
Carry on.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ones with rice and the ones without rice. Thank you very much for agreeing to this spontaneous podcast.
Agreed.
Did we?
We did agree.
Listen. Can I say it was forced upon us?
Exactly.
The woman you
I know, I share.
Hashtag
Hold on.
DDPR.
You are not in chains. You have decided to sit here for lunch.
look at those gunmen with guns.
I mean, put camera, let them see. Please.
Please,
We are
camera
not in
back.
Nigeria. We are not in Nigeria. Please. You have always consented to be here. Any signing of future declaration of money, you are not entitled to it.
I didn't sign my
Why you talk that
I'm joking. There's no money safe.
But you too bad, yo.
No. Thank you guys for spontaneously agreeing. Today's topic.
Secretly.
By the way, that is us. If you don't know us, that's us.
Hello.
Abdullah. This is episode 41. We decided to make 41 special because we crossed the 40 mark.
Yeah.
We have been going strong.
Yeah.
Is that your range?
I've been saying it all along. I've said it, but nobody believes me. I've been saying it all along. Now that it's all right. Own it.
This is the longest intro ever.
Own it.
Welcome to BigLoudMouth.
Intro is still not done.
Today's topic.
Drum roll.
Sam's in the corner. Thank you. Drum roll, please.
With the jello fries.
Today's topic is, drum roll, please. Will you still listen to R.Kelly?
That's a big one.
But I just want to acknowledge one thing.
Yes.
I've got to love Mrs. on the show.
They're neighbors.
It's the last name,
Please.
I told you I was gonna get on here. I'm gonna go on here. Sometimes, Catherine.
Who? Who's Catherine?
What does it feel like? What does it feel like?
I'm not going to deny you like Peter denied Jesus. It's okay.
How does it feel?
Thank you, Catherine, for being on the show.
No, we're not finished
Anyway.
yet. We're not finished yet. So, Catherine, how does it feel to be on BigLoudMouth? And what have you thought about the show? This, as we're celebrating 41 episode with this guy being on it.
It's been 40 great episodes. I think you guys have done well.
What about the stupid
I'm very
things that he said?
opinionated, so I don't know if you managed to receive the end of my
No,
opinions.
this is the best time we want to hear it.
Really?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
By the way, disclosure, you don't have to say anything.
No, genuinely, I do think it's actually been very good. I do feel like I might not have agreed with
There's
a
a
lot
pot
of.
coming.
No.
Can you be quiet? Let her speak.
No, it's not that there's a but. I feel like
I'm not looking.
Tola's opinions are very interesting.
Oh, wow.
Your pronunciation of certain words are very interesting.
Let
her finish. No, let her finish. No, I don't need your defending.
Let me defend you. Let me defend you.
No, finish.
The reason why I have to defend you, the way
No, it's fine.
Wait,
Finish.
the class
No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear
reach.
it. I don't want to hear it.
That's where his English reach. They paid the school fees to primary 4.
Let it go land now.
Let her learn.
You can't be disgracing my
Let
friend.
her learn.
But all in all, I definitely appreciate your perspectives. I think that obviously compartmentalizing is a hard word to say. But I feel like what you guys were trying to say, what you guys were trying to say, it makes sense.
Please don't edit this.
No, I think it's good. I think it's good. I've appreciated it. I've followed it. I've
Invested in
Wait, hold on. Can I sing for
No.
some? Back to Senda. Back, you wanted to set me up. No, back to Senda.
obviously, I'll just put you on the spot.
Why you
To be real,
say something.
I love Buzz. I do.
You love
He's
Buzz.
a good egg.
Yeah, but after giving you 5 minutes of showering of abuse, your English is bad. You cannot pronounce.
No, I didn't say his English was bad.
That's what you said.
Compartmentalizing is a real English word.
But you're saying it with ease.
I just said it is.
It's well, English is not my first language. It's not my first language. Let go.
Say the word.
Anyway, so shame me. Let's move on. Moving on very swiftly.
They should not keep the career as mustard.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Oz. Thank you for having
The
me.
main question.
We're glad you're on the show for the last time. Just so you know, you won't be back here again. Tell you that.
Off the camera, I keep telling you, I say no, you don't. Because when I hear the feedback, I just keep it to myself. She said, but no, it's like she has many opinions.
Stop it! No, I actually give you more props than I give him. That's why he's saying that.
She does.
That's why you're saying that.
It's fine. It's alright.
See, that
pretend to be friends.
friends.
We'll carry on to be pretending to be friends. Anyway, yeah.
The question, ladies and gentlemen, is: will you still listen to R.Kelly?
Because of what?
We've got 10 minutes to discuss that. What do you mean?
Because
Okay,
of
that's
what?
very interesting. Because of what?
Why is that question?
Because he's the king of R&B.
Yeah, but why is that a thing
It's
now?
the genius.
So if you liked his music before, what's different now?
So that's what we're
what
saying.
we're asking you.
You're asking
No,
me
hold on.
what's
That's what we're saying. I said R.Kelly writes from the experience of Robert.
Yeah.
He says you should separate the man from the music. I think it's the same person. So the question now is, after all this proposed or alleged allegations, will you still... Have you guys actually seen the documentary?
Maybe you should brief us.
So basically...
Well, there's a huge allegation
So
that
basically
he's
there's
a child molester.
the golden piss, peeing on a kid.
Yeah.
And then...
having sex with Aaliyah when she was 15.
15, I'm getting married to her, getting her pregnant. Kidnapping. No, well...
Well, yeah, let's just say kidnapping.
Holding women hostage
Yep.
for sex cults. You know,
child molestation.
let me just say, as a woman, would you still step in the name of love?
Firstly, to be honest, I'm not that big of an R. Kelly fan.
Okay, wait, chill.
However,
Are you a big Michael Jackson fan?
Immigration is not going to.
No.
Don't worry.
Guys,
You don't like music at
I
all.
like music, but I'm not there.
This is not your Uganda music that we're listening to all day.
okay, lads.
My thing
don't start that conversation.
My thing is this, My thing is this. With R. Kelly and even Michael Jackson that you're mentioning, right? I listen to, like, a song of theirs might play and I might enjoy the odd song, but they're not people that I go to. When I'm going to work, I'm not listening to R. Kelly or Michael Jackson, to be honest. They're not my selection.
Who's your favourite artist?
What, generally?
Yeah.
She's going to say
Chronic to the
somebody
minute.
from Uganda.
Chronic, it varies. Chronic.
Who that?
Chronic is an artist, he's a reggae artist.
Well,
I said reggae, not bashment. Where's your pain? Where's your pain? Do you want me to take the video? That's not the music he's playing. No, that's not his music. It's not his music, I swear.
Okay.
But in regards to R. Kelly,
Sam, I know you don't... Okay.
She's sat there for a reason.
I know, but it's just a simple question. Catherine, would you still listen to R. Kelly?
What's the end of your
Just
question?
in general.
In light of?
These allegations.
In light of the allegations?
Alleged allegations, yeah.
Alleged is a good word because
He
I
hasn't been
haven't
convicted
actually. I'm not gonna lie. I put my hands up. I've not kept up to date with where his allegations have landed. What
His allegations exactly.
I think
No, but the extent into which they've got, like, I haven't actually seen that.
The reason why
I've gathered the gist of it, but I have to say that Vicky's point kind of stands true in the sense where I don't remember the last time I looked up an R. Kelly song to listen to it, period. Whether it be in a house party, on the train, on the way to sleep, on the way to revise, I've never put in an R. Kelly song. So as an individual, I'm not affected.
Okay. Mrs. Tony. Do you listen to R. Kelly normally?
No.
Okay, so you wouldn't really care. Man them in the house. All of you that have used R. Kelly bars.
I do.
Women.
Even playing on the background. Why Nax is running?
This is the remix of Misha. Mama roll in the kitchen.
Tell the boy not used R. Kelly for you before.
But he went man them.
Yeah. When he first met, did he say, I don't see nothing wrong with a little bump of grind?
Okay, hold on. Paul, would you still listen to that?
I'm going to open that garden for you.
Please, bring the camera here. Paul,
I did 2 days ago anyway.
No,
what did you do 2 days ago? What did you do 2 days ago? We don't know. What did you do 2 days ago?
Wait, hold on.
Listen to R.Kelly.
Yeah, but with what?
In the background.
In
his car.
When I was driving.
When he was driving. Who was riding?
Kiki was riding. But hold on, do you still listen to that? Well, you
What
do
song
anyway.
was you saying?
See,
You said 2 days ago, so
If they told you,
If
they told this guy R.Kelly shot someone in the head, you still play the song.
Yeah, but what song was it?
What did you hear?
I think
I'm
my
not there
view
to
is
judge someone.
Yeah.
surviving
He's made a song, he made a song. I don't listen to current R.Kelly, I listen to old R.Kelly.
Sorry.
against R.Kelly.
Yeah.
But I do believe in fundamentally separating the art from the artist.
But
Okay, Charles,
Fundamentally.
quick question here. Obviously, you got a little one.
Yeah.
And then,
you can cut from behind
God forbid anything ever happens. And you find yourself in a situation as, you know, there's some guy that's been an award-winning artist and he's lingering around your child's school.
Yeah.
Picking up children. Right? And one of your child's friend happened to be in that situation. Would you still listen to that person as an artist?
Would I still listen? So
It's more personal.
I think the answer to that, if I do listen to that person and there's so many allegations flying around, there's a lot of compelling arguments, and that person hasn't defended or gone against what the argument is, then I'd probably listen, but I wouldn't encourage my child to listen, because R.Kelly was sort of like my generation.
I know, but
Okay, wait. No. Before you go into hypocrite, yeah? Okay, before you go into hypocrite, yeah? You have an actual sex video of a grown man.
Golden pissing.
No. So I think
You relating?
I think. See, don't forget though. Yes, there was a golden sex video, right? And you and I, we say yes.
He's a dad.
Wait. Chill. Let him finish.
But don't forget that R.Kelly actually went to court. If you look at that documentary,
that's true.
R.Kelly went to court
And he beat
and
the
they
case.
couldn't prove.
It's not they couldn't prove. It's not about they couldn't prove. R.Kelly beat the case based on his popularity.
Hold on, wait, 2 seconds.
Let me give
When
you
you talk, you have 30 seconds.
You know, get it. No, I hear you, because I'm a very argumentative and opinionated.
Yeah, that's why you have 30 seconds.
So
My point is, you know, you and I can speculate and say yes, based on his popularity or based on his wealth, based on his influence and stuff. But the fact is, the case was presented in front of a judge. For whatever reasons, they couldn't verify that was R. Kelly. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that I would take the view of the jury or I would take the view of the judge. All I'm saying is the fact is there, and the fact simply says the case was presented in front of the judge, and R. Kelly passed it.
And he still hasn't been charged, by the way.
Can I interject?
And I've not seen it, but
Okay, go on.
The dispute is not that it's not R. Kelly. The reason R. Kelly got free was because the girl would not testify.
No, it's because they couldn't prove it was him.
Hold on.
There's several circumstances.
But there was no argument. There was no discussion that it was R. Kelly. At that time, R. Kelly was at the height of his fame. It was the king of niggas. Can I still? No. Sorry, but R. Kelly at that time. That's not even an argument. Forget about the past. It's the present. My question to you now is, if your favorite artist is, it's compelling. There's so much evidence that he has done this. There's so many people. It's not like it's a lie. If your favorite artist is doing this to little girls, you can't separate the music and the artist because they're the same guy. The reason why I believe you shouldn't listen to R. Kelly is because the more you listen to him, the more you prevent him and give him royalty money. That's how. The more you
Can I just interject with that point? Yeah. Because I was kind of with you until the giving him money, right? My thing is this: just because R. Kelly's been brought into the spotlight, how many of them artists do you not think I have been doing this?
Exactly.
Behind
That's the
closed
point.
doors? My thing is this:
learn.
So my thing is, with that being said, yeah, the reality is let's think about the fact that not all these artists write their own music, so that money is not necessarily going to the artist. So if you like a song, you like the song.
I
you know what I mean?
Okay.
No.
Touching the soul.
It's not saying I'm like co-signing your videos and what you're doing. I'm not encouraging and feeding into your behaviour, but the reality is, you know what I mean?
Relax. Be quiet.
Who's next?
Thank you.
Take the remote of speech. If you're not talking,
Yes,
who's got the remote of speech?
Vicky has it. Vicky, don't.
Okay.
10 seconds.
No one interrupt. No one interrupt.
My point with that,
just give us the remote.
wait, so with that point, my point was just basically say is that literally like how can you, when it comes to like music artists and people that are writing people's music, it doesn't mean that the person that's performing the song is not a performer. Do you get what I mean? They've done what they've done. They've been selected to do it for a reason. You can present the song in the best way, and we want sales. Hence why Beyonce gets jobs. Cardi B might get jobs as far as they say she write her own music, but. With that, in terms of saying I don't enjoy your music just because of what you did, I'm not condoning what you did. But the reality is who's letting you get away with what you did in comparison to the music that you're making.
So
do you get what I mean? It's not the same enforcement that is letting you get away with using kids.
I have another question.
Wait. I just want to address.
Okay,
you
take the mic.
So I think you made a point earlier in the first. Let me just first of all, for the record, I
That's my pen.
based on the limited facts there, I do sort of like support the whole movement of R.Kelly in general. But what I'm saying is, the facts at the ground hasn't made enough case against him. But you made a point earlier. You said that the girl wouldn't testify. Now that's one side of the argument. The other side of the argument, if you also listen, was they couldn't completely verify, and R.Kelly denied that was him, and nobody could also, and R.Kelly even tried to pass the blame to his brother as well. So it wasn't like, oh, for a fact, R.Kelly, this is you, point blank, case dead, and that was one of the biggest problems. The second question I want to give, I want to throw out there is, you're talking about R.Kelly, one of the biggest sort of like artists that have survived and transcended generations of music is Elvis Presley.
Exactly.
How old was Elvis Presley's wife when he got married to her? Now I think if you have to then go to the point and say, you know what, let's bring these two together, the art and the artist. Therefore, you have to, your argument has to be consistent, and you have to then go and say, you know what, I will also promote that we.
Almost a whole generation.
Elvis Presley and a lot of all this old school artists.
I know you want to. Hold on.
Wait, you bounce. Let me bounce. Wait, chill out.
Let me say something. So, are you talking because it doesn't happen to you personally, or you're just talking generally?
It hasn't happened to me personally.
That's what I'm saying. One I want to mention here. So, let's say for instance, you go to a church and your favorite pastor goes.
Pastor Paul. I'm in church tomorrow.
And then would you stop going to that church?
No, louder. We can't hear you. No, wait. 2 seconds. No, he didn't lie. He didn't lie. Finish. Hey, relax.
Your favorite pastor, like obviously you know how your pastor's you know the person you trust most and all these things. So it goes through these things and this sexual whatever. Would you still listen to his sermon even if they start selling it? Would you keep going to the church?
I see what you're trying to say. Yeah, it's very similar.
Okay. So let me start with you first. You're talking about forget the past R.Kelly. What you're talking about? What's his name? The American football player that murdered his wife and O.J. Simpson. He got away with it. The court, because the court found you guilty. Let's just say that because the court said you're innocent doesn't mean you're innocent. Let's just.
What did you say? It's still allegedly.
Hold on. He's saying.
I'm talking about the
Hold on. He's saying the fact that the court does not find you guilty doesn't mean you're
not guilty.
Yeah. Let's just get that. Let's get that straight.
But I don't think it's the same.
No. But there are
Wait, let's let him finish.
So and then going back to in terms of like R. Kelly and the music, not separating the music. Going back to it's not. How do you ruin someone? It's not ruin. How do you punish someone that is so big? It's got this wealth and it's their legacy. And the way you punish R. Kelly, it's not gonna be like, oh, take it. It's either prison sentence and his legacy. And his legacy is music. I know there'll be other people that'll be affected. If you're a murderer, if you're Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden, you're not gonna say, oh, only don't punish these people because other people get affected. R. Kelly, to ruin R. Kelly's legacy, and that's what I'm saying. If he is found guilty of all this thing, to ruin R. Kelly's legacy is by ruining his music and not listening to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, wait. Hold on, because I feel like your point is very,
I think
very
Gary
good
Moore has to
relative.
come to this side.
No, but I need to make one important point and I'll pass it around.
I think what Dot said makes sense, which is fantastic and it's great. But I think in terms of relating... Why are you laughing?
Because you're about to say but. You just ruined the compliment.
It was a compliment. Like, I acknowledge that what he said made sense and what he said was substantiated. However, my point is this.
She checked the box.
Even me, I'm trying to use some grammatical words.
So, you see that, Luke? Fear for your life.
You know what to eat today? Tola, you see this brand new sofa?
However,
my point is this. In comparing O.J. Simpson, I get the point that he was making though, so I appreciate the point he made. But in comparing O.J. Simpson and R. Kelly, I think that there is a very big and fundamental error. I say this purely because O.J. Simpson, of course, we understand the charges in which he was accused of and what he was allegedly guilty of until proven innocent. If we look at the O.J. Simpson case and use that as a comparison, the base reason as to why he wasn't charged was even what I was discussing in the recent weeks just gone was the proof that was provided against him was soundproof. It's just they couldn't back it up. So all the stories, all of the accounts, all of the witnesses, everything was substantiated. But we're talking about technicalities. Then you look at the person in which is accused. So O.J. Simpson versus R. Kelly. O.J. Simpson, he was a famous...
Major receiver.
Famous, major, choose your word of choice. NFL,
big player.
He was a big sportsman. You know, everyone appreciated him. Everyone, knew who he was and everything. That's fantastic and it's great. But you don't play O.J. Simpson. You have to understand what his art was and what R. Kelly's art was. You can hear music in the middle of Primark. You can hear music in the middle of a party. You can hear music in the middle of any and everywhere. So I appreciate the point that Dot was making. But what I'm saying is this. The reason why O.J. Simpson's case was thrown out was based on a technicality. And largely based by the fact that he was tried by media. Not that he was tried by jury. So he already had the unfortunate situation or the unfortunate circumstance. But he just had a great team to turn it around on his head. You was tried by media. Period, point blank. If O.J. was tried by jury or if O.J. was tried by the courts or by law, it wouldn't have been the same outcome. That's me.
Excuse me. Wait. Let me correct you. Wait. Time out. Wait. I need to correct the fundamental. OJ was tried. Wait.
I didn't.
OJ was tried in court. And why?
You're not following your own rule.
Where's the microphone? Sorry. I have to correct that. OJ went to court. OJ was guilty as guilty can be.
Do you know what tried by media means?
No, but OJ was in court. I'm just saying.
Do you know what tried by media means? I didn't land. So the point I was making was this. When someone is tried by media, yes, they're in court, and yes, there is a trial that may or may not be going ahead. But if you are tried by media, that means that the situation or the circumstances of your trial or of your case is splattered across the media. So it doesn't actually matter. Unless your trial is taken outside of your county, outside of your town, or outside of your country, you are automatically tried by media because whoever is made up of your jury, because it's a jury case,
But that's similar
There's
to R.
12
Kelly.
No. There's 12 people. My
that's
point,
very
I'm
similar
just
to R.
going to just
Kelly.
what Dotun said.
Have you watched the Boondocks?
The
The
point,
episode of the Boondocks?
let me address your point, babe. The point of the fact of the matter is, it doesn't matter who is included in your trial or who is included in your journey.
voice from this side.
You had a voice from your side.
Wait,
Why are you going against Catherine? You better be quiet there.
One second. Let me make one point though. My point's pretty like broad. This is why I was just I've been trying to throw it in there. Yeah. Just off the basis of what you said, Charles, like there's a big difference between a woman that is choosing to go for an older man. So at 27, 28, 29, if you decide to go for an older man, that's your own. Do you get what I mean? You know what you're doing. You know why you're picking this person to be your other half for whatever reason. There's a big difference between that being the case and it being an older man manipulating a small young girl that's 14, 13, 15, who's not necessarily, do you get what I mean? So to me,
but okay, at what age do we differentiate being able to use your intellect?
Let me be clear. 16 and under, you cannot consent. You cannot consent.
Wait, let me ask the question.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. At what age do you, as a teenager, say to yourself, "I'm not going to allow someone to wheel me"?
No, you make that decision at any time. However,
the law is clear on that one.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Wait. No, I'm not saying from the man. I'm saying at what point do we say to as a teenager, you take ownership of not allowing people to wee on you?
I'm sure from a little kid.
Yeah, to urinate on you. At what point?
What you're saying, can I take the mic? What you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but how many people realise, or how many teenagers realise, that it is a criminal offence for an older man who is over a threshold of age and you're under a threshold of age to wee on you?
Wait. Can we just be
How
clear?
many people understand?
Let's just be clear. No.
You're missing the general fundamental.
We're talking about on a legal standpoint.
On the point, the fact is, from the age of 16 and under.
He's not talking about consent.
No, but I'm saying 16 and under, you cannot consent.
So what is he talking
No,
about?
he's not talking about consent.
What's he talking about?
But this is why I'm making a
what
connection.
he's talking
No,
about,
this is a
which I
connection.
don't favour that question,
This is
at what
I
age
get-
do
no,
you
I
see
get that.
piss and you move?
I get that.
That's what he's
But this
saying.
is
Some people like
wait.
this. That's just some people's
This
thing.
is the connection
From
I'm making.
Some people like golden shower.
No, wait.
You move.
This is the connection I'm making, yeah? The connection. Wait.
Tell me what.
Wait.
Even my little niece, that's fine. We should see pitch
The
coming.
connection. Wait, Charles. This is the connection. One second. The connection I'm making with this, yeah, is the fact that I'm not being funny, but the reality is that if there's a sexual relationship behind that piss that is coming, let's be real. If a random man came to your road and went to piss on you, you'd be like, what the hell are you doing at any age? You'd be like, what are you doing? Do you get what I mean? There's a sexual relationship behind it. That's the manipulation behind it. You could not say
it was just a question I was asking.
It was just a question I was asking.
So that is it. Let me give it over.
So the point is when you are able to be manipulated.
Sometimes, don't forget the power and the aura sometimes in front of you. That sometimes it often blinds.
I think Elijah has to talk next.
Nah, man. What power?
But that's what comes into grooming. That's what comes into
Tony has a point and Elijah has a point. Let's get
Let
these
Elijah
two.
go first. Elijah go. So,
Sorry.
he was saying, you see piss, you move. At what age do you see piss, you move? She's saying, if there's a sexual relationship or there's already a manipulation behind the scene, when you see piss, you stay.
There's no sex.
That's just
Stop
coming.
it.
There's
Stop
no
it.
sex.
Okay.
Now we
That's
make
not what
it
she's
sound
saying.
clear.
You know that's not what she's saying.
What kind of sex? What kind of sex? Stop repeating on it.
Stop it! You are going to sleep outside.
Yes. Hold on. Let me clear it.
Have you guys watched
When I'm saying, hold on.
What are you saying?
Hold on. What I'm saying is, I'm just laying it as simple as. Hold on. Wait. I'm just saying it as dumb as it
Some
can
people are like
sound.
that.
But don't, because that's not the
Okay,
point that was being made.
No. That's not what she's saying.
Wait,
What I'm
They
saying
need to be
is.
checked.
Okay. No, Elijah. Relax.
The reality is behind sexual exploitation is grooming.
Yes.
Like
Thank you.
There's grooming
Thank
attached
you.
to it. So you're not grooming. Grooming.
That grooming can take from 1 hour
Wait.
to 10 years.
Okay, is this the part?
Also, don't forget there's a power imbalance here.
Thank you.
About somebody who is famous, who's wealthy, who's
You're
got
famous.
access.
You have money.
Relax.
You're grown.
Relax. Wait, relax.
Where's the remote?
The remote has disappeared.
Tony has a point.
Basically, I saw.
Don't you think the mom and dad of that child?
No.
In their life.
That's not the point. In their life.
You guys are taking accountability away from the parents. I like this question.
New rule. 30 seconds timer.
You got a point. You got a point.
You guys are not
Tony has a point.
We are Nigerians. We follow that.
The father and the mother failed. However, the society in a way. Because the society we live in now,
I don't eat
the peer pressure out there, Elijah, and the social. I blame the social
Let his
media.
point be made.
Yeah,
It has to be 20 seconds.
I saw a video yesterday.
Relax.
I saw a video. A guy.
Guys, let him talk.
I saw a video yesterday. Yeah, a black guy in America with his wife walked into a shop and told this guy off. Asian man, grown man, gave his phone number to a 13-year-old and said, "Don't tell anyone." The guy went mental because kids in that neighborhood were going missing. You know?
There you go.
So, on one hand, parents have a lot to play.
Correct.
However, the government, social media, look at Donald Trump.
Many
How many
variables.
girls, how many women out there has he not touched inappropriately?
Okay. Wait, hold on. Before anybody
You
interjects,
can't
I have
touch
to
him
say
because
something.
he's powerful.
Wait, hold
You
on.
know?
I'm going to interject there, right? So, I think there's a conflict of background here. Reason why I say that, reason being is, I know exactly where Elijah's coming from.
No, you can't say that. I'll tell you why you can't say
Wait,
that. No. He's chatting shit. No,
Can you
you're
hold
chatting rubbish. No, I can't let you lie.
Hold on.
Because it's the same auntie that will tell her daughter, don't sit on your uncle's lap.
Exactly.
In the same culture.
Wait, this is
So
what
don't
I'm
say
saying.
it's cultural
You're not
thing.
understanding. You're not letting me land. The
It's
reason why he's
a
saying
cultural imbalance.
no, the reason why
He's
he's saying the parents have failed in a way is exactly what you just said.
Exactly.
Don't sit on your uncle's lap. When you see that man run, if anybody give you sweet, you turn to yam. Superstitions like that. Hold on. I'm telling you,
That's how it starts,
you guys
yeah.
think I'm lying. When they say
No, but it's
hold on,
true.
when you see money on the floor, don't touch it.
Leave
Things
it.
like that, they're mostly superstitions,
Leave
but they
it.
happen.
But
But
it's
this is
true.
my point. He's just to tell
seen one
you.
before?
No, I piece of the money and I picked it. What I'm trying to say is,
So this urination thing, you're part of it.
hold on. We're coming back to the point. Hold on.
point
That's
is,
why I
are
said
you
that's
listening
another
or
different.
would you listen?
The reason why I said that is because I don't want us to.
time's out, man.
I don't want us to. I'm the host here. I don't want us to think what he's saying doesn't make sense.
Oh yeah,
It does
100%.
make a
You know
lot of
what
sense.
it makes?
right?
It just means that we don't agree.
Yeah, no, that's fine, and that's absolutely fine. But I wanted, you guys to understand where he's coming from. Go.
Valid point.
It's not me, Megan. I'm just.
What I wanted to say, what I want to say though, to be honest, yeah, in terms of like
Vicky,
working in
You
the
don't have to say for them.
by the
the
way.
point that the point that I want to make around that is the fact that the reality is I feel like I could not sit here and say every parent is to blame. Just because, yes, you give birth to a child, but that child, sometimes kids are going to be who they're going to be. The parents can do above and beyond. Do you know what I mean? And behind being able to physically restrain your own child.
disagree.
Yeah?
I'll click. Don't
No,
worry.
behind being able
If you can't click, I'll click.
You guys
No,
are
wait, let me finish. Behind being able to physically restrain your own child,
Yeah.
you cannot necessarily control all of their movements and their actions because
At what age?
it falls under
At what age
DP.
you can't control your child?
No. I'm not
From
saying
13
every
and above.
age. Your child is going to be who they're
13
going to
and
be.
above.
So you
If your
can
child,
try-
if your
There's
child is
people
in
out there
your
that do
house,
their
they're
best.
18, you got
There's people who do their best.
You guys, relax.
We're digressing.
Yes.
Can I
Yeah.
answer?
You guys are forgetting that
Please.
there's Koboko back home where you are. You are forgetting
Let me be
that.
quiet.
One more, everyone. One
Before
more.
anybody says
We're
anything,
digressing.
I think we need to move on from the question.
Yeah.
Now we're moving away from the
The question which was, will you still listen to R.Kelly? That's been answered, and I think it's
No, we have
I don't like him, so I want to
I
listen to
would
him.
no, I need to answer Elijah.
Okay, let's answer.
Are you going to answer the question? I want us to move on from the question.
We are moving on. There's no one more.
I can answer both.
Leave a comment on our show. Leave a comment on our YouTube channel if you want to carry on. But the next question is.
This is the simple question.
Yeah.
Going from my left to the right here, will you listen to R.Kelly still? Yes or no?
I
Simple.
will answer you first.
No. Yes or no?
I'll answer you first.
No, yes or no?
I'll answer you first.
Vicky's
Yes
first.
or no? You said you don't listen to him anyway.
So no.
So no. But if he comes on, you won't change the channel.
No, on what? No.
Come on, ready.
No, I control what I watch.
Okay,
No.
fair enough.
Okay.
Catherine, would you listen to it if you come?
Go to Tony.
Okay.
That's not nice.
Guy, I don't join you. I don't join you.
No, I said
I have more than yes or no.
we need to.
No, it's just a yes or no. Leave your comment on the YouTube channel, guys.
Can I say, listen, I left a comment on YouTube, they didn't reply. So now I'm on the show, innit? Like, at the end of the day, my point is this. Thank you. Elijah, you made a very valid point. My point will take 2 seconds. At the very end of the day, I made a comment. Elijah said leave a comment, and I left a comment. He didn't reply me. So I'm in my
Elijah.
Sorry.
I know they're both tall, but come on now.
Oz did not reply me. Elijah, I'm replying you at this point.
Okay.
Yes, the point you made was valid. Parents have felt in a certain way when it comes to the victims of X, Y, and Z. My point is this. You said at what age is the parent liable? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the child is living in the parent's house up until 30, 40, 50 or 60. From 12 to 13, from around about that age and beyond, the parent doesn't actually have sole control of the child.
Yes.
Because I will tell you,
I disagree with that.
from a biblical standpoint, number one, and outside of a biblical standpoint, because I understand that that's not everybody's standpoint, a realistic standpoint. So I will say to you, yes, I'm a female. I can't speak to you from a 12 or 13-year-old guy, but I have observed and experienced that of both. So the point I will make, and you can definitely dispute because we're outnumbered in terms of gender at this point.
Don't talk that one though. Don't talk that one.
That's another topic. Oh,
That's a defense mechanism.
It's not. My point is this. I'm not silly. I can see that I'm outnumbered in terms of gender. But the fact still definitely remains. For females, I'm a female that was once 12 or 13 years old, and I was around other females that are not on camera.
And you didn't listen to your parents.
Let me talk. And some that are on camera that were 12 or 13 years old once. The bottom line still remains. At that particular point, you learn a skill from your peers or siblings to distinguish family and or friends, or to disguise family and or friends. So you can do things that your parents may or may not be aware of. If you guys want to sit there and lie, that's between you and your God. For me, I will tell you, from 12 and or 13 and beyond, your parents may think they have sole control over you. But the fact still remains, they don't know what you're doing outside of their sight. But pre that point, they may have, maybe 80, 90, if you're lucky, 95% control over what you're doing.
Yeah.
But that's
Hold on.
So what you're saying is true. Guys, what you're saying is true. Yes, that is parenting. But in replying to Elijah's point, if a parent has failed, that's okay as far as your opinion is concerned. But you said at what point have they failed? From the 12 or 13-year-old bracket.
If you're talking based on that, doesn't need to be 12 or 13. The moment they start 7,
no, I'm telling you facts. I'm telling you scientifically.
But there's kids even younger than that.
Let me.
I don't want to elongate this topic.
Yeah, but you haven't let me make my point. At the end of the day, it's not only biblically based, but it's also scientifically based.
Well, if you're saying
because at that point, we're talking from a premenstrual or not premenopausal, but like a pubescent age. At the very end of the day, things change with you as a female or as a male. You start to mix either with your siblings, if you're not a sole child, or with your peers, if you are a sole child, and or if you are a sole child. So you have to be realistic. If you guys want to say what you want to say at this point in time, that's fine. But we have to face facts. From around about 12 or 13, it has been founded. So it's not just my opinion, but my experience has also backed up that scientific research or that biblical fact. Around about that age. They've told me to round up. Around about that age, a parent cannot be reliable or liable, let me say, for 100% of what that child does. So at the end of the day, if you're going to turn around and piss on an 8-year-old at 13, that's what you've decided to do.
That is your adult
my last sentence is this. Stop. My last sentence is this. In reply to your statement, if up until 12, as a parent, you haven't taught your child when you see piss move, or when you see money, don't pick it up. Your point is very factual, but you have to think of it relative to this 2019 or like up until this day and age. We're in this country, in this society, up until certain age points. Yes, a parent, what you said, has 1,000% obligation to teach their child certain tools or certain whatever it is. Do you get what I mean?
Okay.
But you have to acknowledge that from about 12, which is very young because we're all grown-ass people, it's hard to be accountable.
I'll be quick. I'll be quick. The concept of this is the concept of parenting.
Let's not go.
Wait. No, let me just let me
No, you haven't even left the ground.
Let me just.
It's a different thing.
I know, but I'm just trying to say. What he's talking about is 100% right, and I slightly disagree with your point in terms of wait. So, as a parent, what tools you have as an adult, as a kid, no matter what age, 13, 14, is what your parents have been giving you from.
That's what I just said.
No, but then.
So who's parents to There's
things that I do. Wait. Let me finish. I'll let you guys finish. There's things that I did 13, 14 that I know will be against my parents' wishes. Right. Don't get me wrong, but I know a limit. I know.
That's what I just said.
So your limit is determined by you.
No, it's not. My limit. Wait. My limit is determined. Wait. Let me finish. The morals are being. Let me. Guys. Let me finish. This is important. My limit where I reach is determined by my respect for my parents, my fear, because when they start whipping me, you guys, let's finish. So if your parent, you got to an age where you have no fear, no respect for your parent, of course you go wild. If, for me, I went to a school whereby my parents moved me because I was going, we lived in London when we first moved to, when we moved to London when we first moved to England, I was doing bad, I was mixing with the wrong one. My parents moved us to Birmingham to prevent that. Parenting is so important in every state. Some parents, African parents for example, they'll say, oh, I don't know why my son's this, I've done all of this, all of that. It's those parents that are going to night duty. They're going to night, although they're working hard, in their mind they're working hard, they're going to night duty, they're doing all this and all that. But they don't know that impact, the fact that they don't know what their kids are doing, they're not monitoring what their kids are doing. It's affecting them. I believe, no matter, so parents will think they've done all the best they can, but there's always that little thing that you don't think will affect the kid. And that is it.
If I want to tear that one apart,
Me, I want my remote.
Hold on.
I'm tired.
Wait. I don't want us to dive into.
To digress.
But that's how we answer your question. Accept it.
Wait, that's fine. I understand the fact that we're coming from. That's why I said the important thing is, will you still acknowledge R.Kelly? And I think most people are going to say no. Bar, Elijah, or Oz. Because Oz said last week in the podcast, like, I don't care. I will listen to R.Kelly. If he comes on radio, I will bang him. That's fine. I will not go searching for it.
Let me answer that question. My own. As a parent,
guys, swift wind, guys, sweeping the country. I am a river.
Get around.
So, yeah, quick question. To answer that question. Following
very
my
quick
view after watching that documentary, I started leaning towards no.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie that I still hold certain
R.Kelly moments. Songs, not moments, sorry. Great songs.
that childhood, that recognition, that whole you grew up on everything. Yeah. So I'll be honest and say, post that documentary, I lean towards no. But I need like a stronger evidence and conviction of R.Kelly. I'm biased.
See, the thing is,
what are you biased
off? Hold on, wait.
No.
What is he biased off? We're not going to question that.
We need to know.
We are not going to question that. We are not going to question
that. No. You talk too much. Fala, yo.
What are you biased off?
You still listen to R.Kelly. Listen, if you put Tumba on R.Kelly.
Alright then.
I want to go searching for it, but if it comes on radio, I'll listen to it.
Change it. Okay, that's Josh yourself.
I agree to that. I don't listen to him.
So now you're in front of the bishop
from the beginning because all the songs have been written throughout inspiration or something. So listen to what happened in the in the news and things like that, just put me off completely. It's a no-no for me. And right now, if it comes up, maybe at the shop,
you bop to it.
Yeah.
Dance to it.
Yeah, dance to it. You know what I mean? So, but I won't go searching for it, to be honest.
Okay, the next question.
It's the same. Basically, it's a unanimous response. No one taps into
the next question was going
anymore.
to be Elijah's question when he said, "Are the parents responsible?"
Can I speak?
No, that's done. We're moving on. That's not
my other question.
Then why did you mention it?
Because he took the question.
You guys, what's I'm saying?
My question is that is unanimous that you guys wouldn't listen to R.Kelly.
No, that we won't tap in.
We're not saying we wouldn't listen.
We won't tap.
Okay, you wouldn't go out. You wouldn't search. So would you guys have the same energy for Michael Jackson then?
I still haven't searched him.
Wait.
I've not searched Michael Jackson.
No, but I'm just saying. That's why I said, would you have the same response? The same response.
Blanket rule for all of them.
Yes,
but there's recent.
Doing it for one person, we're not doing it for the other.
No, that makes sense. But there's recent artists that have been accused of such things like rape and etc. So what about them artists?
Thank you. It's not as concrete.
But it's not as concrete. But you're saying about concrete. But you also said that R. Kelly wasn't proved in court. Exactly, there's evidence but it wasn't proved. So it's just as relevant. It's just as relevant.
That old man at what's his name now?
Harvey Weinstein.
Bill Cosby.
He doesn't make music or.
But you're forgetting that because he got found guilty. You're forgetting that.
The ones that making music.
So I'm just saying. So that's a very good question. The question was, would you guys have? Would you guys?
Let me chip in with Michael Jackson.
No, but let's talk about Chris Brown's
let us make his point.
It's comparable to R. Kelly.
Why not? What's the difference? What's the difference? What's the difference?
This is why I don't
one principle. Wait. I just want
Michael alone, yeah.
one difference. One difference. That's all I want. One difference.
Let me tell you.
Exactly.
I want to hear one difference.
Guys, go on. What's different?
He won't keep it on hostage.
With regards to Michael Jackson, right?
That's true.
A lot of them, first of all, there was no video proof as you alluded to R. Kelly's one, that there was one.
The golden shower.
You're talking about evidence. I'm talking about accusation.
No.
Let me finish. Wait, relax. You're talking about evidence. Yes, there's a difference evidence-wise. I'm talking about what the accusations are.
Can I make one statement before you continue? No, can I make one statement before you continue? The reality is in all rape cases or child abuse cases, there does not have to be like video evidence to prove that something is going on. Wait. Okay. For who's conscious though? Who's conscious?
No. That's why I said what's the difference between R. Kelly and Michael Jackson?
What's
the beyond reasonable
doubt?
So that misses your word.
R. Kelly's not been convicted.
What is coming up with sexual activities that they do not know about otherwise? They've not been exposed to pornography, etc. Where they getting it from?
What tells this point?
Let me ask you.
Hold on.
How many cases did Michael Jackson settle out of court based on those accusations?
No, wait, hold on. Can I chip in there? Wait,
not one. No, it's not one.
Hold on.
He went to court twice. Settled out of case. Out of court is no.
We have an answer.
I'm a Michael Jackson. Wait.
We have an answer.
You know why I don't want to go into that because celebrities settle out of court all the time.
Yes, thank you.
Let's not use that as an excuse.
But when Michael Jackson died,
hold on. They settled.
Listen,
you're talking about his estate. His estate is owned.
When he died, they were still settling out court. Like, come off it.
His estate.
They were still settling out court when the man was dead.
I don't like speaking about.
How are you settling out of court when you're dead?
Get your phone out. Get your phone out, and I'll prove you.
We'll bring you receipts in a second. I'll bring you receipts in 2 seconds.
What's your other thing? I don't want to use the.
Let's move on from that.
Out of court stuff. What's the other one?
So my point is simple. I think if you look at both of them, and I've seen Michael Jackson's documentary as well.
Okay, great, thank you.
And when I look at both of them objectively, they're not comparable.
What's one?
The weight of the evidence stacked up against R. Kelly is high. It's way too high.
Evidence is not
okay. Secondly, that's one thing you say that, but then you look at the status symbol between Michael Jackson and R. Kelly. Not the same.
Yeah,
they're not the same. So you're not gonna find as much compelling evidence as you guys quote unquote want that you would with Michael Jackson because Michael Jackson is a god. R. Kelly is barely.
The FBI was on Michael Jackson's case. What are you talking about?
From when though? From when? Were they on it when it was happening or after?
Michael Jackson was
No.
Can I say something? Hold on. Can I say something? Hold on. You guys are not taking into consideration
the actual accusation.
Hold on. You guys are not taking into consideration that R.Kelly's done out here musically.
Yeah, he's been
done.
Wait,
hold on. He's been done.
He's been done.
Nobody. R.Kelly is.
Don't just walk away from our show. You are just walking away from our show. He's disrespectful.
Don't come back.
No one looks for R.Kelly.
No one looks for R.Kelly. By the way, yeah. But Michael Jackson still sells millions of copies every year. There are powers that be. Hold on. Residual sales, whatever streaming. There are powers that be.
Don't talk conspiracy. Yeah.
Hold on. No. Can I finish? There are powers that be that will not let.
We don't need to talk about.
Hold on. There are powers that be that will not let anything affect the Michael Jackson revenue.
Correct.
Because too many people eat from that.
Correct.
You need to understand that once you stop selling records, you are done. As a celebrity, you are done. Even as an actor, once you stop selling movies, you are done. People, it's easier to get on you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
One more than FBI in your case.
Wait. Can I make this point?
Don't do it. Guys, it's
Can I just make the one point?
No, we are rounding up. We are not making no points.
No, I work in children's services, and there's consistently points that are given, where I know there's cases where there isn't evidence. This is the problem. There's people out there, the predators especially, they know what to do and what not to do. They're not silly. So when you keep saying evidence, I'm like, evidence is not everything. You cannot take.
And you also stated, just to say what you stated, you also stated that just because the court did not find you guilty, doesn't mean you're not guilty. So from your own perspective, you should carry that same energy towards Michael Jackson. And on that show, it's finished. It's finished. No, don't do it. Finish. On our show, guy.
Don't you? You're arguing from the point of view of a fan.
Michael Jackson now. Michael Jackson. One more point. Please. And I will not enter your show.
I've seen your reaction talking about Michael Jackson right now.
I will not enter your show anymore. One more. Okay, one more. Thank you. One more. My last one. Let me get in the middle so I can see One more and I'm done. One last comment and I'm back to the camera. Okay, this is my statement. This is my random up statement. So what I'm going to say is I believe the R.Kelly case is more comparable to the O.J. Simpson case. Let me land. The reason why I say this is if you look at O.J. Simpson, after he was found innocent, how was O.J. Simpson punished? It wasn't a criminal court. It was the fact that the NFL literally wiped him off the history.
He lost the civil case for $10 million.
He lost the civil case. He lost so many elements. I think, and it's sorry, but he wasn't found guilty. And I feel like in R.Kelly, there's so many compelling evidence. Although it's not beyond reasonable doubt, whereby the courts will find him guilty, but in the civil court, there's a less. What's the word for you to find a person guilty? So I feel R.Kelly.
Do you think the state of Illinois is going to persecute R.Kelly?
No one will.
So he won't get a civil court.
But I'm just saying, R.Kelly, his legacy is already tarnished, and I feel like not listening to his music in O.J. Simpson in terms of his American football history was wiped out. Even he was a Hall of Famer. It was one of the greatest American football players. Now you will not see them in the history. And I believe
still in the museum though. He's
still in the museum. It's all fancy words in OJ's
I'm talking about in terms of his status and everything.
OJ still has
to the point where OJ has money. OJ's in what? OJ, wait. OJ Simpson did armed robbery. OJ Simpson's still in prison.
This is why you don't let cameraman in front of camera.
R.Kelly will be punished in the end. R.Kelly, that's been done. I'm back to the camera.
This right here.
BigLoudMouth.
This right here. Hold on. You see why that
got touched.
Hold on. You see why that question was very important. Saying, will you still listen to R.Kelly? Like, will you still listen to R.Kelly? That just proves my point. He can't get beyond the fact that Michael Jackson touched boys.
Michael Jackson out of this, innit?
Sometimes, as a fan, we're actually blinded.
You're blinded.
Yes.
Exactly.
No, Michael Jackson didn't do nothing, bro.
Can I say something?
He touched you.
Can I say something? Hold on, wait. Hold on. You see the finish? The finish, But Catherine was asking, like, what was the question? Yeah. The question still remains.
You have made your family rich.
Don't pass. A green card for everyone.
Guys, on that note, thank you guys for coming on our show.
Thank you very much.
Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to comment. Guys, no, hold on. It's a wrap.
I want them to hear what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you for coming on the show.
No, wait. I have to put on my phonnet for Catherine.
Catherine, are you done?
Because she disgraced me. So I have to put on my correct working English. Because they know about me in the end.
In Dagenham.
So, I just like to take this wonderful opportunity to thank each and every single one of you for participating on our show, on our 41 episode that we've been doing this. My name is Oz, and this is Tola. Thank you for listening to BigLoudMouth.
Thank you very much, guys.
What are we talking about? This is the BigLoudMouth.